Definitely a lot of things that we can clean up as a staff and as a team. You know, we've always talked about we're not a pat on the back program or looking for excuses. It's how well we play every week. We can definitely play better, and I think that's the exciting thing is, we always talk about you can either win or learn in a game, and last few years we've found different ways to win and learn, which is the best feeling during a season. So Utah Tech deserves the praise first off, just their staff and what they've done with their team over the last year. They've improved dramatically in all three phases, and they gave us a lot of problems in all three areas. I thought our guys did a great job of responding, made some great adjustments, and just stayed connected with each other. And good teams find ways to win games. And what we didn't know about our team after the first game was, hey, what were we going to do in the last 7 minutes, right? We're up by 6. There's 7 minutes left. The other team's driving. What are we going to do? We never got to really see our team play in that environment. But this week you're down 17, late in the third quarter. What are you going to do? And our guys fought back and played high-level football there at the end of the game. So that was great lessons for all those guys to learn, and happy to find a way to win a game on the road, which in my experience, especially at the FCS level, winning on the road is very difficult, especially the type of schedule we've had the last 2 weeks with the travel. So we're thrilled to have the win and excited to move on to the next game. As for the North Dakota State game, it feels right that Davis is playing North Dakota State. There's a long history and tradition of those two programs playing each other, whether it be in the playoffs or regular season. You go all the way back to when Kenny O was taking us to the semifinals and the finals. North Dakota State was a team we played that year too. So, and when I was playing quarterback here, we were in the same conference as them, and traveling to Fargo twice in my career as a player and having them come here, those were great games against great teams, great players. And then I was on the staff in 2019 when we went down there and played them, and that was a great game. So, our program continues to try to push itself to see, can we contend with the top teams at the FCS level. And when we think about scheduling, we want to schedule tough opponents just like Mercer this year. And there's nobody with more prestige, no one with more history than North Dakota State. So we're excited to take a trip up to Fargo. It's a great environment, and then hopefully host them here in Shredville. And we know they travel really well, and that'll be a great environment. So really excited about that game and glad we could get it done. Yeah, I've coached there a couple times. My last time there was when we were at Cal, and they were a playoff team that year, and that place was rocking. It's a beautiful setting, beautiful place to watch a football game. Our guys are looking forward to it. Obviously, it's a great challenge, but any game on the road's tough. But you add in the elements, we'll have to be ready for all that stuff. But that'll be a fun challenge for us. Obviously, I'm a West Coast kid, so not having the Pac-12 doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But nowadays it's about TV rights and the TV contracts and the revenue, and so it definitely makes sense for those universities from a financial standpoint, football, to make the moves they've done. Obviously, it affects the other sports and the travel and all those things, but no matter where they tell me the conference they're in, I still think of UW as a powerhouse program, one of the true cathedrals of West Coast football, in my opinion. I got a chance to really get involved with that program when Coach Pete was there, and would go up there and visit and hang out with them, and just the utmost respect for the program and what they do. And it'll be a fun night for our guys to be able to be a part of something like that. There's definitely fatigue there. I think this will be the third week in a row after we play Washington that we're going to get home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So when you got late kicks like we've been having on the road with the type of travel we've been having, it wears on your body, it wears on the guys a little bit. But like I said, we're not looking for excuses. This is the schedule we have, and that's why this game was so important against Utah Tech. Privately as a staff, we knew with the first game getting canceled, find a way to win this game by any means necessary, because we know the challenge ahead of us in week 3, and then we know the challenge of the Big Sky. So finding ways to get any wins on the road is really, really important. And it'll be good to get back after this game. You got a bye week, and you got a couple games at home, and it'll feel like the season's kind of back in the swing of things. But right now, I think we're just kind of head down, and we can come up for air here after this game's done, but focused on the Huskies right now. I think they just have a tremendous team, kind of front to back. They've done a great job accumulating their talent. Obviously, their NIL situation is far superior to ours and far superior to most. So, the roster they've accumulated in all three phases is pretty staggering. And but again, it's a fun challenge. But I wouldn't say we're focusing on one element. We got to figure out how to stop them on defense and figure out a way to get a first down on offense. And right now that looks difficult, but it'll be fun for us to try to figure out ways to do that. Yeah, it's hard to put a finger on it. I think what I really liked was just the mindset of the team throughout the game, the mindset of the staff. There wasn't any panic. We talk about having a neutral mindset a lot with our program. If you have a negative mindset, that never works. But if you have that fake positive, that doesn't work either. Hey, we're fine, we're okay. No, we're not okay. We're down by 17. Neutral mindset says, okay, let's fix this. Let's fix the problem. And we were working diligently to try to fix it for the 3 quarters, and it was difficult. They were doing a lot of things that we weren't prepared for. But I felt like midway through the 3rd quarter, we felt like we had a good rhythm of what we wanted to do in all the phases, and then had a couple things bounce our way. And then once you get a little momentum going like that, then the belief sets in, and the guys did a great job finishing. Yeah, I think he's got a chance to be a Jerry Rice Award winner, right? I think I coached Case Cookus at NAU when he won the Jerry Rice Award, and I think Caden's got a chance to do that if he can put together a solid season at that position in this conference. He's got a chance to turn some heads. But he really grew as a quarterback, man. I mean, you go into a game, they don't play anything that we've practiced, and so now you got to adjust. You got to make adjustments in game. You got to be coachable during the game. You got to be able to move on to the next play when bad plays happen. And for him to stay poised and to stay within the offense and get the ball to the right people and lead a team back like that, that shows great growth for game 2 of your career, that you can stay committed that way. So I thought he grew up a lot on Saturday, and I was happy to see him get recognized. Yeah, last year I tried to speak weekly about Lan and come up with new words, and it didn't help in regards to getting him the award that I thought he deserved. But I don't think if there's a better player at our level on defense, again, I haven't seen it on film this year, but that guy's got, I know they don't count the first game, but he's got 27 tackles in 2 weeks at the safety position. He might end his career with 400 tackles. I don't know what else a guy can do, plus the ability he has on special teams as a return man, the turnovers he's going to cause during his career. So, I'm glad he's on my team. I'm very thankful that he's shown loyalty to UC Davis, and I think he deserves to be recognized every week, and I sure hope that they look at him for the Buck Buchanan. He's got to obviously stay healthy and play the whole season, but I don't think there's a better player at our level on defense. It's a legacy. You sit back, and those are the things him and I talked about, when he was trying to decide what he wanted to do is, hey, no matter what you do, Rex, you will be thought of positively here at Davis, whether you stay or leave or whatever. Everyone knows you're a great dude and you work hard for the program and you're a great student. But if you stay, you'll go down as one of the greatest players to ever wear the jersey. Your number will be next to Bo Eason. You'll break the tackles record. You got a chance to win the Buck Buchanan. You got a chance to win a championship at your alma mater. These are all things that they're not at the forefront of every young guy's mind, and they don't have to be, but they're important to him. And so I think whenever that moment happens, he'll be the first guy to probably say it's not a big deal, but for a guy like me that loves Aggie football, it's a very big deal. Well, I don't think we should just ignore the fact that we are getting a huge financial sum from this game, and I'm well aware that money in particular helps keep our athletic program afloat. And I'm proud that the football team stewards that progress for our programs. Not every athletic program can play a team and create that type of revenue for us. So I know that's the role of the football team, is to play in games like that so that we can support our other teams, and that's really what this game's about, right? It's about supporting our program financially. But at the same time, I love playing games like this. I think when you're a young kid and you're getting recruited, and everyone wants to play on the Power 4 level. Even when I recruit kids now, everybody wants to play for the Power 4 teams. Everyone wants to be on TV every week, but not every kid gets that opportunity. Whether the recruiting is right or wrong, sometimes you find the right place for you, which might be a place like Davis, and to get to play in those games, you get to really test yourself. And we got plenty of guys on our team that are Power 4 players, and I know they're looking forward to playing games like this. So I'm really excited to hopefully play one game a year against a Power 4 team and help our school financially, and then also test our team and see what we're made of. I think I was looking up, this might be the 20 or 21st game I've coached in where I'm an FCS team going against a FBS team, and I think we've won 4 of them, right? So I was telling the guys the other day, like, that's a realistic percentage. You probably got a 25% chance of being in a game like this, and shoot, man, if you are, great. That Stanford game is a game I'll never forget the rest of my life, and so I think it's a fun opportunity for them, and we got nothing to lose, and so put together a great game plan, play your best football, and see what happens, and test yourself against the best. And Washington is one of the best programs in the country, so it'll be fun. We're not really focused so much on that. There are things formationally that we try to get specific guys the ball. Like last year we used to do that with Lan. But really with the receivers and tight ends in my career, it's always been run the route that you're supposed to run, the ball will find you. And at that particular drive, he just happened to be at the position where the ball was finding him, and it found Zach, it found the backs, it found Sam. It just, run the right route at the right depth at the right time, and the quarterback's on time, and the ball will find you. But super proud of Stacy. He's grown a lot, in his true sophomore campaign already, fighting through some things physically, gutting it out, and he's a tough kid, man, and I love having him on the field. Yeah, it starts athletically, right? Like you're just not quite sure where guys are at physically and athletically. At the receiver position, we always want to have 6 guys that can play in a game, which is, again, where we're struggling this year, is not having enough guys that can play in a game. Last year, Trent was injured. CJ was injured, and he was having a tremendous camp. Stacy was, and so it felt like he was going to be our 4th, 5th, 6th receiver. And if that's the case, we might as well tell him he's going to play, because the odds of him not playing in every game are pretty slim. And in this day and age with football and the way things work, man, if you're good enough, play the guys. Like what are we saving them for at this point, right? Like they want to win, they want to be part of it. We always ask them, hey, are you okay with this? This is what we're planning on doing. And he was all for it. And I think that type of experience helps a guy in his second year. He's already played in 15 games before this year starts. That can really help a young guy. So, those decisions are kind of made at the end of camp. Like Tyler Hennessy this year, he's part of the top 6 receivers, so he's going to play, whether he's a freshman or not. Drew is our best field corner, so he's going to play, whether he's a freshman or not. So, Jaden Fuse are part of our 6 deep at D-line, so he's going to play. So I think it's less about that and more about, hey, if they're on the depth chart and they've shown they can do it, then we're going to play them. Well, I continue to say that I've coached in a lot of places now, and Missoula is pretty unique in how loud they can get. But yeah, the crowd noise will be an issue, and at a place like this, and we'll have to practice it all week and be ready for it. But I always think that makes it fun, right? Like, don't you want to play in front of that many people and that environment? And so, I think that's going to be a fun thing for our guys to deal with. Yeah, it's illegal touching. So once the ball gets tipped up in the air, the ineligible receivers can't touch the ball unless the ball was touched by the defense.
Isn't that an obvious? I mean, it took them 10 minutes or so to.
Yeah, I just think they wanted to. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, at one point, I think the D coordinator for Utah Tech looked at me like, "What are we doing?" But
I mean, the rule's pretty clear.
Yeah, hey, they want to make it right. I appreciate it. I think they couldn't tell if it hit Fisher or if it hit the D lineman, and they were trying to get all the angles they could to make it right. Whether it was going to be 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 17, I don't know if that mattered, but hey, they want to get it right. I'm all for it. Yeah, I think 2 things. Caden has a tendency to hold on to the ball a long time right now as a young quarterback, and they were doing some really unique things on the back end that, again, we weren't prepared for. So his eyes were playing tricks on him a little bit, so he was hanging on the ball a little long. And then when they weren't playing coverage, man, they were bringing some serious pressures that we hadn't seen on film, so it was a great plan by them. The back end was a great plan, and then when they weren't playing coverage, they were bringing some serious heat and stuff that we hadn't practiced. And so tailbacks, tight ends, O-line all had their hand in it there. When the quarterback runs the protections the way ours does, young quarterback, you get fooled on a protection. I think the first one, sack fumble, we slid the protection the wrong way, and those things are going to happen when you're young, and then you learn from it and don't make the same mistake twice. Later on in the game, we had a similar play, and they were bringing boundary pressure, and he slid the protection and got it blocked, and then threw the ball to Winston. So cool to see those growth moments. Hopefully you don't have to get a sack or a fumble to learn it, but that's part of playing the position. Yeah, Jackson, he's going to be out. He sustained a concussion, pretty nasty hit. It was a friendly fire. Went to make a tackle, and the ball carrier kind of ducked out of the way, and then he ran into his teammate and took one. Thankfully, he's feeling a lot better. Our athletic trainers and Dr. Faustin do a tremendous job, and he's feeling a lot better. So it'll be good for him to get the week off and then a bye week, and he should be feeling a lot better. Mateo should be able to play. I think he just got kind of rolled up there at the end of the game, but nothing serious. So happy for him. He's playing really well. Yeah, I'm really happy for Nate. I've known Nate a long time. We recruited Nate here at a high school at Monte Vista to play here at Davis when I was coaching with Hawk. And we were recruiting him as an offense and a defensive player. And then when I got to Cal to coach the tight ends, he was playing linebacker there, started a couple games and played really well. I know that when I left, and Teddy transferred in there, and they had Caden, that they ended up moving him to tight end. Austin Taylor, our linebacker coach, has known Nate a long time, coached him personally at Cal. We knew the type of person Nate was. We knew his family really well. And so we were trying to, in recruiting, trying to convince him, like, hey, man, you can come here and play right away, play every game, go back to linebacker, be a leader for us. And you talk about, like, the situation we have here at Davis. We don't have NIL money and stuff to give these guys. So, Nate graduates from Cal, and then he's not going to get any scholarship money until the middle of September. And he just moved out here in January. Basically found a place on his own, was living with his dad a little bit, commuting over, was doing, can't work out with the team, but he's working out in the weight room, trying to learn the defense. I mean, that guy was here every day from January until camp, and I still don't know how he's making it financially. And so I just applaud those guys, right? Like, that guy really wanted to be here and really wanted to help the team. And it feels like he's been here for 10 years. I mean, he gets along with everybody on the team. And so to see him have that moment was super cool. And love Nate. I think he's a great dude, and he's going to leave a mark just like David Meyer and those guys. They become part of the program, and he'll be a guy that we talk about for a long time, I think. And I think the funny thing was at the end of the first game, when they canceled it, he only had 8 carries. And I remember we got in the locker room, and I was like, God, I must be the worst coach in America. If that guy only gets 8 carries, like, what are we doing? So jokingly, I told Fisher in the team meeting last Monday, hey, man, you'll never get 8 again. Like, we're going to at least double that. And then he got exactly 16. So I told him, I told you we were going to double it. But, man, he's got some serious juice when he gets in the second level. He was over 20 miles an hour on the GPS. And when you're a ball carrier and you hit over 20, Jeff Burke always says there's about a dozen guys every week in the NFL that carry the ball that can get over 20 miles an hour. So he was rolling, and he's an exciting guy to watch and a great kid, and I love coaching him. No, I was shocked that he wasn't. I thought he was, but the GPS numbers say that Fish got him. So they've been talking about that, trust me, the last few days. But I think that play to me showed Sam's determination and Sam's growth. The sideline could have been chaotic. We're down by 17. He was a true captain on Saturday. I mean, his heart rate never got over 68, it felt like. I mean, he was just completely calm, pushing his teammates. We're gonna find a way to win this game. And you could see right when he caught that thing, he was like, I'm scoring with this. Like, there was nothing stopping him. And that's what a leader does, right? That was really cool and we got to find ways to get Sam the ball. I think that was one of the things the first 2 games we've been the most disappointed in is we've gotten some different looks defensively, and we don't have a lot of depth at receiver, so teams are trying to take him out of the game, but he's a special player.